Alright, what's good YouTube? It's Jojo ASMR here, welcome back to another video on the channel. So in the last video, I shared with you all my updated Ritual Beast deck list for the new ban list, and I expect this to remain pretty much the same list going into Supreme Darkness format in 2025. One of the most frequently asked questions I got in that video, however, were people asking me, Jojo, these deck profiles are nice and all, but let's see you actually put your money where your mouth is and play this deck in competitive matches versus the meta decks, versus Ryzeal, versus Fiendsmith, versus Maliss. And so that's exactly what I'm going to be doing in this video. I managed to climb to about, I think, like 700 rating in a day or two playing Dueling Book, and overall the deck's been performing pretty well. So I hope this video serves as an informative and educational guide, sort of giving you a little bit of insight as to how I play the deck in real time. It's one thing to spreadsheet, learn, and memorize all of these combos, but to actually apply that knowledge in a real competitive match of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a whole different beast. So feel free to take some notes, I'll be sure to point out any cool interactions. This is the deck list that I'll be using, as I said, pretty much exactly what I showed in the last video. So I'm a man of my word, I put my money where my mouth is. I've been seeing a lot of success with this list. Here's some of my duel records. You can see for yourself that I've been pretty much winning most of my games, if a lot of them. So the list has been really good. So with that said, why don't we jump straight into the replays. The first replay we have is versus Ryzeal Fiendsmith, which is going to be the most expected deck. Here I lose the die roll too, so I have games I win and lose the die roll. Here I've lost the die roll. Opening hand is Imperm Ash, which is great. Opponent starts with Engraver, which I don't even Ash Blossom. I see the Fiendsmith cards as total bait. The reason for this is because I can Imperm the Desiree or the Wave King Caesar, and I have Ash Blossom for Duo Drive, so I just let the opponent play here. All of this doesn't really matter to me. Summon Lacrima dump Fiendsmith in Paradise. They summon X, search Sword. They summon the Sword, go for Ice, and from here all I'm going to do is just Imperm the Duo Drive. So I'm going to Ash Blossom the Duo Drive, my bad. Opponent normal summons Ice, goes Ice effect to summon out the node, make Detonator, and now I have Imperm to trade for the Detonator. Opponent, all they have is just the Ghost Mourner and the Fiendsmith in Paradise. So here I normal summon Cannahawk, use the effect to banish, summon the old Lara. Opponent now goes ahead and resolves Desiree to send my Cannahawk, which I have the extender luckily, so I summon the Lara. Here I'm just going ahead and getting into Cannahawk and just getting a free search, and I'm searching out another Lara because I hard drew the Rampengu, so I can keep on extending here. I go discard to normal summon. Opponent tries to mourner this, which they can't because it was normal summoned, and they just admit defeat. I think they could have played it out a little bit more, but it is what it is. So game 2, my hand is Shifter. It's 3 hand traps, Shifter, Purge, and Infinite Impermanence, which is looking really good for me. The Shifter is going to make it so that the Ryzeal end board is way more manageable to deal with. I don't need to worry about any Fiendsmith cards, which they open 2 of them. And this is a big reason why I love Shifter, is because a lot of these Ryzeal players have started splashing their decks with Fiendsmith cards. So you're turning off quite a few cards and don't have to worry about more non-engine, like hand traps. So here I just Imperm the Ice, and then the opponent just passes. There's nothing they can do here. If they were to keep playing, I have the Purge as well to hit whatever else they summon, and I have Book of Eclipse for turn, and so here it's just game. They have no interruption, and I full combo and win. So that's just how like a lot of these games go sometimes. Shifter is crazy. Let's get into another deck, another replay. This time against a deck which has started to see a rise in popularity after the ban list, which is the Tempai Fiendsmith deck. Shoutouts to Triff, my boy. Here I win the die roll, I go first, and I actually just lose this game. I hard brick. I don't draw any Spiritual Beast monsters in my Ritual Beast deck for 2 turns. So I'm not even going to commentate this. We just pass. I'm able to stop him, but it comes to a point where like I don't have engine, so I just lose. It is what it is. Just make SP, try to do my best. I have Bold Rake. Like, what can you do in this state? Try to stop him for a bit. And yeah, I just lose this game. So going into game 2, I'm now going first. Opening hand here is really strong. I have Shifter to stop any like hand traps like Veiler, which they did draw here, which is nice. And I have Book of Eclipse to beat any Imperms. And so now I just do standard 1-card Cannahawk combo here. Nothing really too much to be said here. Get my loops, search when. I'm not going to explain this combo. This is just like basic Ritual Beast 101 stuff. I will say here, I accidentally put these into the graveyard to summon Kim on Falcos, but they should be banished. But it doesn't make a difference because I would just banish the old Lara to activate the effect to get the additional normal summon here. So don't worry, that was my bad, but it really didn't make a difference, to be honest. So here I go Rampengu, get the Winder. Just remember, when you're under Shifter with Canahawk, you usually don't tag out because you want to have names in the graveyard to make Nochi Drago later. That's just the one small difference. So now I make the Nochi, add back Canahawk. And here I don't even go for the Nemesis line. Like, my end board is so strong enough with pure Ritual Beast backed up with the Shifter that I don't even need to. So I get one final tag out, summon Ulti Guy Pelio. And this board is really good. For those of you that say pure Ritual Beast doesn't make a good end board and has to just rely on Protoss, like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, this end board's like 4 interruptions that are layered. So they just admit defeat. So now I'm going second here, and I open no hand traps, but we're actually going to crack this whole board here. Opponent goes uninterrupted. They go Genroku, and all they're going to do here is make Seals Pass with Imperm Nib, which is actually really hard for me to beat, but luckily I draw the right hand. So my hand is Elder plus Pengu, and I drew a third Rit Beast card, which means I can go for the early Ulti Guy Pelio line, and I have Nemesis Flag as well with Callbite and Book of Eclipse to insulate my plays. So Callbite can trade with the Heretic Seals, so I'm not worried about that at all. All I'm worried about is this set, which is most likely, if it's not D-Barrier, it's going to be Imperm, and I can play around Nib for free. So we double normal summon, opponent doesn't bounce. We go ahead and loop Canahawk, search Old Lara, and then Pengu's going to dump Spiritual Beast Canahawk. Just normal anti-Nibiru plays. These are everywhere if you want to find that stuff. So I banish Canahawk, normal Lara, bring back the new Lara, make Ulti Guy Pelio. And now I trigger the new Lara to summon. Usually it'd be a Pelio, but I drew it, so I just summon Winder. I make Nochi Drago, and now I go for Flag. So this is really good. I've insulated my plays. I have a free negate that can't be targeted because Nochi is on the board. So now, like, I also beat Imperm Nib, even though I had Book of Eclipse anyway. So I summon the Flag on summon. They try to bounce. I chain Callby. They chain Nib. I chain Ulti Guy Pelio. And they try to Imperm it, but they can't because Nochi's on the board, so they just lose. So that just shows the power of Ulti Guy Pelio. Card is insane. Love that card to bits. Next replay is actually versus Maliss here. I end up, I think I win the die roll here, which is really good. So I go first. Opening hand is Elder Canahawk, which is really solid. So I can go for a Nibiru line here, anti-Nibiru line with the early Ulti Guy Pelio. Opponent has double Imperm Ash Blossom, and we're going to be able to play all through this. So they have 3 hand traps. We're going to resolve our Canahawk. We're going to search out another Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara. The reason I do this is because I've already opened Lara for this combo. So therefore, in case Kimon Falcos gets stopped by an Impermanence, for example, well then I still have the extra normal summon anyway by discarding Lara. So now I can go Canahawk effect to banish the Steeds for the anti-Nib line, make the Kimon Falco. Opponent goes ahead and drops Imperm. Now I contact fuse into Nochi Drago. Use the effect of Lara now to summon from the deck. Opponent chains Ash Blossom. Now I can go Nemesis Flag as a free body to special summon itself. Use the effect of Search, which gets met by a third Imperm. I have E-Tally now, so now I can make the Link 4. Link 4 effect to add back the Steeds to my hand. Now I can normal summon Lara, use the effect to reborn Kimon Falcos, and make SP Little Knight. So through triple hand trap, we end on like 3 to 4 interruptions, which is still really good. So it's game number 2 here. Opponent goes first. This is actually a 2-0, I think. They open pretty good. They have Thrust, Nibiru, Dotscaper, an Extender with Druid's Worm, and Dormouse. And my hand is Nibiru plus Purge with Elder, Rampengu, and Book of Eclipse. So yeah, we're able to actually win this game here. They go set the Thrust, which I like that play. So they go Dormouse to set. They go ahead and get out the Rabbit. Rabbit goes ahead and sets the Trap. Now they make Hazard Lizardos, go ahead and banish the Dormouse, summon it back, make Hearts of, made up Red Ransom to search the field spell, and I decide not to hand trap this. The reason being is because, well, the Nib will be able to clean up their board pretty well, and then if the opponent then has Thrust or Talent to draw to, the Perch can then deal with that, which luckily I, made that read. So they go Trap to summon out Cheshire Cat, summon back out the Red Ransom, go ahead and banish another Cheshire Cat, and on summon of this cat, I go ahead and drop Nib. So opponent goes ahead and gets their board wiped. They do have the Bestial here. So they go Thrust, and we hit it with the Dominus Purge, this is why I love Dominus Purge. Like, this card is so good, man. It's just 3 more copies of Ash Blossom. It hits Thrust to get Sanctum or D-Barrier. So now what they can do is just go Druid Worm, make Link Spider, make SP, and now we're off to the races. So in this game state, I go ahead and I normal summon Elder, normal Pengu. I'm okay with SP tagging this out because I can contact fuse into Nochi Drago. So they go ahead and tag this out. I go ahead and Foolish the Lara. I forgot to dump the extra deck, make the Nochi Drago. Effect to summon from the deck. Now, I should have used Counterhawk's effect straight up here, which is a misplay on my part. But, because now I just played into Nib. So I have the Book of Eclipse though, but it would have been nice to get that free Counterhawk banish, obviously. So here I loop ulti Counterhawk, and I think I can just go for game here, which is kind of nice. So I go for Rampengu, and I just want to go for maximum damage, so I get the Apelio in rotation for the extra 500 boost. Normal summon the Lara, Lara summon Apelio. So the Kimon Falcos is boosting both of these by 600 attack. So my Apelio will be at 24, plus the 500 boost is at 2900, which is huge. The Lara goes from 100 to 600, plus another 600, so it's at 1200. So 29 plus 1200 is 4100, I believe. And then 4100 plus the 2300 on the Kimon Falcos is enough for lethal here. And that's game. So there you go. Maliss, no problem. It's all good. And that's actually game with these little monsters. Hey, don't underestimate the Apelio and Kimon Falcos boost. The damage really adds up. Once again versus Fiendsmith Ryzeal. I lose the die roll here as well. Opponent goes ahead and goes first here. I have Shifter, but they have Call By. I don't know why they were yapping in the group chat. In the chat, you can watch that if you want. I'm just being a chill guy. So they go ahead and do full Fiendsmith plays here, which is fine by me. I really need a top deck here, an Impem or a Book of Eclipse, and I do. So get absolutely dominated. So now we can go ahead and we're off to the races here. They go ahead and drop the Counterhawk, but that does nothing. Effect negation on any of the 2-card Ritual Beast combos does nothing, so they're full comboed. Opponent goes first here. We have Shifter, Fualos. Their hand is Chaos Hunter, Phantasme, Ash Blossom, Lacrima, and Ryzeal Cross. So I'm actually going to get Chaos Hunted in this game, and you'll actually see me win. So we're going to Shifter, Chain Fualos, just we want to turn skip them. So here we go normal summon. We go effective Lara to normal summon here. The reason for this is because I'm under Shifter. So I also wanted to play around Lancia. If they don't drop Lancia and draw phase or standby phase, we get a free banish, which means this will result to get another body on the board. So that way, if I get Lancia or Chaos Hunted, I'll have enough bodies on the board to be able to still work with something. So I summon out Counterhawk. On resolution, opponent drops Chaos Hunter. And now all I'm going to do is go E-Telly to summon another body. And remember, I use Lara's effect to discard to normal summon, so I can still normal the Apelio. Here I go ahead and go straight into Raritari, which has 100 attack enough to beat over the Chaos Hunter, but opponent drops Phantasme, draws 2. We kick over the Phantasme. Now I can contact fuse into Nochi Drago in main phase 2. Use the effect of Raritari to add back the Lara, normal summon it, summon back the Apelio. Apelio get a free attack boost, loop, ulti Counterhawk here. And here I'm just going to set up SP Little Knight because I want to banish the Phantasme here. And even if they negate it and destroy the SP, I'm totally fine with that. That's another card out of their hand. So I make Anima, go into SP target the Phantasme, they chain it. I chain to tag out, and it's so fine with me. They're just hand looping themselves. And through Chaos Hunter, Phantasme, you know, Ash Blossom, we ended on like 4 interruptions. So we're off to the races here. So opponent goes Ice for Sword, and I chain SP on one of the level 4s, so he has to commit another body on the board. Opponent chains Phantasme, which I'm fine with. That's just another card out of their hand. So on resolution here, before they can maybe make a detonator, I go ahead and flip Steeds. So now they summon X, and I know it's the Fiendsmith Ryzeal deck, so I'm feeling pretty good here. They try to negate the Raritari with the Aggregator, but obviously there's no Nochi Drago, so I just tag it out. Opponent searches Sword. Summon the sword, and here on the summon of Detonator, they try to equip. The reason I don't do it here is because in case the last card in hand is Node, Also for the fact that if I can just hit the duo drive on the summon or on resolution of the attach effect. So they just make detonator, and I don't mind if they try to pop my Raritari with the detonator if they went for it here, because I have Lara in the graveyard to protect, so I can still banish it. So now they activate hard drawn Ryzeal Cross, which on activation I'm going to immediately use Raritari to banish the Apelio and the detonator, and they're sad and salty. And there you go. We have a replay versus pure Ryzeal. So here I win the die roll in this case. I go first. Opening hand, I believe is, yeah, so Imperm. I have Inheritance here, so I go Inheritance to search just to bait out that I may have a weak hand. So opponent does Ash Blossom this, which is exactly what I was wanting them to do. So now I can go E-Telly, summon a Tamer, set the Lara, Contact Fuse, go effect to summon from deck, summon the Canahawk, banish Pengu, loop ulti Canahawk here, and on resolution of the summon, before I use the Rampengu effect, they're going to nib me, which is a bit rough. So they nib me, I chain Eclipse to protect my monsters, I get another search for Steeds, and my end board is going to be Steeds with Imperm Nochi Drago, which is still pretty good to be fair. Opponent normal summons Ice, I Imperm it, but they have the cross out unfortunately, it is what it is. And this is when it gets really rough, because like, you know you're about to get Exitoned, but it's like, you might as well just let it resolve, because what can you do? So I just let them Exiton me, I protect my monsters with Lara, I just pop it anyway. Summon out here Winder for follow-up, and now they go X, they try to negate the Nochi, I tag it out, and here all I'm trying to do is just wall up, just get a nice line of defense for next turn. They can't kill me. They make, this was the wild part, they made Dweller. I don't know if they ran out of names or like XYZ, I have no idea why they made Dweller here, that was wild. So they just go for Duo Drive. They try to attack over Ulti Canahawk, but I switch it to defense with Inheritance after tagging out. Again, I don't know why they made Dweller. Like, maybe they were trying to stop Window or something. Here they make go for double search. And I have to remember I need to play around Nib next turn. So, like, it's a little bit weird. So, here I go ahead and my first plan of action is to force out the Ryzeal Cross Negate. So I just need to make SP here just to force out that negate, which they obviously do. Here I Contact Fuse into Nochi, get a free summon, and all I'm trying to do here is just like clear the board, but also play around Nibiru. So this is, I believe, 4 summons here right now. And the SP also protects me because if he nibs me, I can just tag out whatever is most high value on my board. So here I go ahead and just clear up his monsters. I have a Book of Eclipse, I want to make Baguska here, and even if the opponent nibs me, I can tag out my SP with the Baguska to guarantee that I'll be safe for at least a turn. And the Nochi can tag out, I believe, into another beast as well if they chain nib. So my whole board is safe from nib, and I have a Book of Eclipse and SP to back it up. So opponent gets a free draw here. These are some of like the weird board states. Like you never see these in any combo tutorials, but it's like when you play actual matches, like stuff like this is stuff you need to worry about. So opponent makes Donner, they try to pop my Baguska. Now they Bonfire for X. From here, I can just tag out my SP after. Actually, I Book of Eclipse on the Summon of Node, and now they can't play. So they draw 2, but it doesn't matter at this point. Contact Fuse, and I'm just going to go for a game. And the Nochi provides targeting protection, obviously, which is really good. So now we just go for game. And there you go. So game number 2, I'm going second here, and I open Foolos, but they have Ash Blossom, so it's really hard to beat this, and they're on pure Ryzeal, which makes it even harder. So even though I have Book of Eclipse to go into the detonator, they'll have Ryzeal Cross and plugin set up, so they can just pop their own detonator, reborn it back with plugin, get another material, and they still have the trap card, so I actually end up losing this game, so you'll see. They end up resolving full play here, and they have Nib as well. It's like so hard for me to beat. I draw Petalfin, they chain detonator, summon it back, and like this is really hard for me to beat, especially through Nib as well, and the plugin negate, the cross negate, so I just lose. So game number 3, I go first. Opening hand here is Canahawk. So I get Perulia here, and if you open E-Tally or Inheritance, it's very easy to play through Perulia. You still make a good enough board. So here I'm just going to Contact Fuse straight into Nochi Drago and set my Canahawk to not give them a draw. But it doesn't matter because opponent has double Imperm Ash Nib. So here I'm just doing normal plays. They Imperm the Canahawk, which I'm totally fine with. I make Ulti Canahawk go effect to search Steeds, and I set 4. and opponent top decks Lightning Storm. So I get Lightning Stormed for 4, which is rough as heck. And they have no Ryzeal monster, so end phase I can tag out. And here I'm just going to try and go for game. They Ash Blossom, I use Nochi, summon Counterhawk, they Impermit, summon Ulti Counterhawk, and I end up getting nibbed. Here I'm just searching for Elder and Rampengu because I have a normal summoned here. And I'm like, the only card I lose to here is Nib. The only card I can lose to possibly here is Nibiru, which they have. And now I have to put them on, please don't draw a Ryzeal monster, which they don't. They draw Lancia. So end phase I go Lara effect when it's banished, summon Winda, which was so good just in case the opponent had Lancia. I did this on purpose so I can crash the Winda summon Link 4, add back the Lara so I can protect this from battle from Nibiru with this being banished, and I have a free banish and they just lose. So there you go. It's a slogfest of hand traps sometimes in this new meta, and it's really, really tough. So, but if you play well enough to your strengths, you can get there. So next replay we have here is versus the Fiendsmith Unchained deck, which is another variant I've seen running around. Here I win the die roll, I go first, and my hand is like really nice here. So I have Spiritual Beast Tamelara plus Rampengu, and so here I'm just going to set this up. The reason I use Pengu here over Counterhawk is because if I go Counterhawk a lot of the time and the Lara gets ashed, I usually can't extend anyway, so I just go for Pengu. Here I could, I believe, but that's besides the point. So this is going to show you why I play Petalfin, by the way. I had a lot of people asking, why is there a Petalfin in my deck? This combo will show you why you need to play Petalfin. It's very important. So here I'm going to play around Nibiru. So I send Counterhawk, Contact Fuse into Nochi, use the effect of Lara to summon Elder for this case. I'm going to loop Ulti Counterhawk, and here in this case I'm going to search out old Lara. Now remember, I haven't used my normal summon here, so I'm just going to go Counterhawk to banish the Petalfin specifically. And now because I have a normal summon, I can make Ulti Guy Pelio. Now I normal summon the Lara, use the effect of Pengu, and I'm going to dump a Pelio here. And I'm also going to chain Dimension Shifter. So when you open Shifter, you have to be really careful with when you use it. There's certain opportunities in the combo when you can use Shifter. So I started using it now. Now I go Rampengu, summon Counterhawk, get free searches, search Steeds, tag it out. Now I make the Link 2. Link 2 can banish out here Winda, I believe. And now I can summon out my Winda and my Apelio. And this is why you need to play Petalfin, because if you don't play Petalfin, this Apelio here would be used as XYZ material, and this would have been like a Wen or something like that. So having the Pyro is really important, because then your Banshee can summon itself back because you have a Pyro on the board when it's banished. Here it doesn't really come up because I'm playing under Shifter, but usually in this case what would happen is I would summon out Flag, then I would summon Cross Sheep, summon Protos by banishing 3, and then the Flag, the Cross Sheep would bring back the Flag, and then the Banshee would bring itself back. And this is all only possible if you play Petalfin. If you don't, you're a body short, and you have to use this Pyro as an XYZ material, and then you won't be able to get the extra body to make the Link 4. So please play Petalfin, it's really important. Here, I don't need to make a crazy board. I don't even summon Protos. Like, I'm just going to sit on this and pass, and the opponent can't play. So, game number 2 here, I go second. I open Shifter, but opponent opens Lancia, so we just turn skip each other. So, all I can do here is just set up SP, an Ash Blossom, and a Dream. It's a bit rough, but as long as I don't die, I have a chance to win. So, opponent goes ahead and activates the token. I immediately SP it just to not allow him access to the Fiendsmith engine. Bear in mind, in this point, I don't even know what I'm playing against. I just know it's a Fiendsmith pile. I thought it was maybe something else, but here they go Thrust, I Ash it. They go Aruha to pop, summon itself, and on the effect of Prison to summon, I just tag out my SP, so that way if a Rakea or if a Sarama hits the board, I don't have to worry about that. So I just tag out the Aruha, stop the floatability. They normal summon Shyama, get the trap, pop the trap, and all I need to do here is just not die. If I don't die, there's a really good chance I can win. So they just play, they do Fiendsmith nonsense here, and again, all I need to do is not die. They resolve sequence, get Desiree. Again, I just need to not die, that's all I'm trying to think about. They go Shyama, they swing for 7,500 damage here, I think? No, 7,600 or something, yeah. And now I can play the game. So all I need to do is first bait out this Desiree negate here, which they don't negate any of these effects. So I can go banish Lara, and I can summon old Lara, and they've just played into the anima zone. So little plays like this is really good. So they chain Desiree, I chain SP on my anima and their Aruha, so that way I can go for game and not worry about this floating, and also clear my extra monster zone. Remember, SP doesn't have to banish itself, you can banish anything. And now all I'm going to do is go for game, and I can play around the Desiree effect to send a card to the graveyard by going for Star Slayer for Typhon. So here I'm just going to loop all of these illegal plays here. Obviously, I'm going to loop Cannahawk, summon 2 Laras, search Inheritance for the extra damage, make the Link 4, add back when summon Apelio. Apelio banish Lawinda, as that's the last spiritual beast monster I haven't summoned here. And here we're going to search for Steeds, Inheritance, switch to attack, go for Star Slayer, and that's game. So there you go. Long games like that. And for the final replay we have is once again versus Ryzeal, of course. So here we go, getting into it. I win the die roll in this case, very lucky. Opening hand is, actually I just pass. Yeah, I lose, I bricked. It is what it is. So I'm down a game, I go first. Opening hand is really strong, like this hand's so broken. It's Book of Eclipse, cross out, plus starter extender. So here, in this case, I'm just going to search Lara. I don't want to discard any of these cards. So I'm just going to search Spiritual Beast, Tame Lara, put it in the graveyard in case I get Imperm or Veiled on Rampengu. So here I normal summon the Pengu, I get Veiled, I chain Book of Eclipse, they chain Imperm, and they for some reason think that the Imperm still negates, which it doesn't if you know how Book works, and they try to take back the Imperm. Here I contact views, summon Cannahawk, and now I'm just doing basic the basic Rampengu combo here. This is a new Rampengu combo which we haven't really seen yet, where here you're supposed to search the second Cannahawk. So you go effective Pengu, dump the Apelio, make the Link 2, banish Apelio, normal Cannahawk, and you're gonna banish here the Winda. Tag out your Kimon Falco for 2 of these guys, and here we're gonna summon the Flag, search the Protos, and I make the Banshee anyway here for the fire attribute. So now we make SP banish out the Banshee summon itself, banish 3. So now I just make the Link 4. I don't even call Dark. I don't even need to be honest. My board is strong enough. I have Link 4 to deal with Druid Swarm, and I just set 2 and pass. And like, I just have so much going for me here. So I Steeds, pop, and I only meant to pop the Lacrima. They go Engraver, and then here all I'm going to do is just load up my banishment with a Tamer. So I can go Link 4, target, chain, target. And now, even if they try to go for a Requiem play, they can't tribute as cost under the Link 4. So it's game 3, I'm going second. Hand is pretty good. It's Fuelos plus Purge plus Cannahawk Elder. So I chain my Fuelos on the effective Ice. They have Call By. Here I'm going to show you why Purge is so good. Hit that X. Oh, they go off of the Fiendsmith play, which is very interesting. So they go Fiendsmith line. Here they go ahead, and I think they make a Wave King. No, they make Desiree. Yeah, so they go for Desiree. And this is going to be hard to crack. They go for Amdi, set 2. They didn't even go for Duo Drive, I guess, to play around whatever. Play around their Purge or Imperm, fair enough. So here they get out their Desiree. I go normal Cannahawk. I go Effect. Also, by the way, they Impermed Elder. Shoutouts, that's the first time that's ever happened. Imperming Elder. So I go Cannahawk Effect. They negate it. I go E-Telly. They negate it. And now all they have left is a Veiler. So now I'm just going to go Cannahawk to search Steeds, summon out Nochi Drago, I believe, and just set 3. And they're in a bad position. Like, they have no Fiendsmith engine in the graveyard. We have 3 trap cards to deal with them. I guess they just didn't want to play. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed some of these replays. Hope you found them informative and educational. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!